Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the TTV News with some last events in our province, and now we come into details. Ladies and gentlemen, in the afternoon of February the 10th, the Provincial People's Council held a review and implementation of the work plan for 2023. Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, Secretary Provincial Party Committee, Chairman Provincial People's Council, chaired the conference. In 2022, the Standing Committee of Provincial People's Council has successfully organized 4 sections, and in all aspects of work, they have achieved quite high results, which are unanimously supported by voters. Mrs. Nguyễn Đại Thi, standing vice chairwoman of the Provincial People's Council, has implemented a number of key tasks of the Provincial People's Council in 2023. Specifically, while organizing the meeting of the Provincial People's Council, continued to do a good job of coordinating with the Provincial People's Committee and relevant agencies to promptly handle arising issues as well as supervise the implementation of resolutions issued by Provincial People's Council. At the conference, the Standing Committee of the Provincial People's Council recognized the candid exchange of ideas, suggestions for operation of the People's Councils, and share experiences, good practices, and difficulties and problems in practice. In his conclusion speech, Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm emphasized that the supervision work needs to ensure publicity, transparency, comprehensiveness, and objectivity, and at the same time, point out the shortcomings, limitations, and make recommendations to improve the performance of the monitored content. It is necessary to improve the quality of explanation and questioning activities between the 2 meetings to promptly overcome limitations and difficulties. It also needs to expand forms of voter contact by subjects, and voter contact schedule must be announced publicly and widely. Determining a specific route and delegation teams need to monitor the results of responding to voters' petitions until they are satisfactorily handled.
Also at the review conference of the Provincial People's Council, there were 3 collectives and 17 individuals were awarded for the activities of the Council in 2022. 3 collectives were awarded certificates of merit by the Provincial Council of Emulation and Commendation at the Economic and Budgetary Board of the Provincial Peoples, the delegation of the Provincial People's Council, the unit of Trang Bàng Town, and the delegation of the Provincial People's Council, the unit of Chu Thành District. 17 individuals who are active members of the Provincial People's Council and have many positive activities in 2022 were also awarded certificates of merit. In the activities of the District People's Council in 2022, the People's Council of Bengal District was awarded the flash leading unit in the emulation movement in 2022. 2 units received certificates of merit. The delegations of the Provincial People's Council and the Standing Committees of the People's Councils of District, Towns and City signed a mutual agreement to emulate each other in 2023, determined to well complete the task assigned by the People's Council in the new year.
And ladies and gentlemen, the industrial production index increased by 15.51% compared to 2021. Export turnover is estimated at $6.4 billion, and the number of households using electricity reaches 99.97%. These are among the quite impressive results reported at the conference. To summarize the industry and trade sector of the Ninh province in 2022 in the afternoon of February the 10th. In 2022, the economy faces difficulties and challenges that greatly affect the growth target. The province has proposed many solutions to remove difficulties for production business, stabilize the market, recover from the pandemic. Together with the drastic efforts of the whole industry and the trade, they have achieved impressive numbers in all fields. The total retail sales of goods and service revenue for the whole year is estimated at 96,900 billion Vietnam dong. 19 trade promotion activities were also organized to promote the OCOB products and specialties of the Ninh province to other provinces and cities nationwide. In 2023, it is forecasted that the world situation will continue to be complicated. Although the COVID-19 pandemic has been controlled, there is no sign of ending. To overcome the above difficulties, the whole industry will continue to innovate, exploit, and advantage, turn challenges into opportunities to promote industrial development, trading, exporting, continue to support the economic development. Speaking at the conference, Vice Chairman Provincial People's Committee Yu Vang Thang acknowledged and emphasized that the industry needs to effectively implement the trade promotion activities, connecting the trade supply and demand of the goods with provinces and cities nationwide, advertising product introduction, strengthening to closely follow the market and keep an eye on supply-demand movements, commodity prices. He also expressed his hope that the industry and trade sector to consult short-term and long-term solutions to ensure supply for to various special products, not to lack electricity for production, and second, not to lack of fuel. This time, the Provincial Department of Industry and Trade was honored to be awarded the flag by the Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, leading the unit in emulation movement in 2022. Outstanding Labor Collective titles were also awarded for divisions under the department. On this occasion, many collectives and individuals also awarded certificates of merit from the Provincial People's Committee.
In order to promote the effectiveness of the work of detecting, fostering, building and replicating advanced models and examples, the Provincial People's Committee requires agencies, units, localities and enterprises to handle the direct role, responsibility of the leaders, managers and heads of collectives, directing the good implementation of annual review and recognitions of good examples, to attach importance to the synchronous implementation of all 4 stages, including discovering, fostering, summarizing, and replicating advanced examples. The comment and recognition of advanced models and examples must be outstanding, suitable to the characteristics, nature of work, and tasks to create a spillover effect. Each agency, unit, locality, and enterprise selects, builds models, advanced examples, and creates material and spiritual conditions to arouse creative potential in labor and work. Take measures to organize effective emulation with advanced examples. At the same time, innovate the content, form, and method of dissemination, ensuring objectivity and honesty, avoiding exaggeration of achievements, diversifying forms of propaganda to create an enthusiastic emulation spirit, contributing to repelling negative manifestations in society.
And in 2022, TayNinhTV City has a strong development. One of the outstanding achievements is that the total budget revenue of TayNinhTV City achieved the highest compared to previous years, with more than 850 billion Vietnam dong, reached nearly 130% of the estimate and increased by more than 13% over the same period. The value of commercial production, hotel, restaurant also met more than 3,000 billion Vietnam dong. It is the development of the city that has actively contributed to the general economy of the province. To invest and develop the city into a civilized, modern, smart, ecological, and livable city according to the resolution of the 11th Provincial Party Conference. Recently, the City People's Committee submitted to the Provincial People's Committee to consider and submit to the Provincial Party Committee for promulgation a resolution on the construction and development of the city by 2030 with a vision to 2050. Accordingly, towards building a city that meets criteria of Grade 1 urban center in the direction of green, clean, beautiful, civilized, friendly, and livable, to highlight that by 2030, the city is trying to achieve basically 75% of the standards of a Grade 1 urban center, roughly for being political, economic, cultural, and social center of the province. And by 2050, the city will be a Grade 1 urban area, an ecological and economic city, dynamically developing smart, sustainable, modern, livable, and attractive with its own characteristics.
On February 10th, the Traffic Order Police Team Trang Ban Thao Police said that it had just handed over the case of transporting more than 1,200 packages of smuggled foreign cigarettes to the police team investigating crimes on economic imposition directly under TayNinhTV Police Station to continue to clarify according to regulations. Previously, at 10 to 2 p.m. on February 9th, in the area of Bình Hòa Hamlet, Phước Bình Commune, Trang Ban Thao, the patrol and control team led by Senior Lieutenant Nguyễn Văn Nghĩa discovered the motorcycle with license plate number 59D1 74103 circulating from Long An province to Tây Ninh showed suspicious signs, so he ordered to stop and check the vehicle. Through inspection, the driver was Huỳnh Hải Đăng, living in Đức Huệ district, Long An province. carrying with 1,250 packages of smuggled cigarettes. The case is currently being handled according to regulations.
And ladies and gentlemen, it can be said that in 2020, the Standing Committee of the Provincial People's Council has had many outstanding activities that are highly appreciated by voters, especially monitoring activities and volunteer activities. In 2022, it is the first year after many years, 100% of socio-economic development targets have exceeded the resolutions of the Provincial Party Committee and the Provincial People's Council. 19 out of 19 exceeded indicators, including 9 economic indicators, 7 social-cultural indicators, and 3 environmental indicators. The socio-economic development results that the province has achieved many have been greatly contributed by the Provincial People's Council in timely promulgating resolutions in each field. At 2 regular meetings, the 4th and the 6th, the Provincial People's Committee conducted a question and answer sections with department's analysis on pressing issues of concern to delegates and voters. The working sections were also broadcast live on the radio television station for voters to watch, and thereby the hot issues were also cooled down. Voters believe in the working results of the Provincial People's Council. In particular, the year-end meeting of the Provincial People's Council was also the 6th meeting, which completed a huge amount of work. The meeting issued 34 resolutions, writing a clear legal corridor and setting goals for the province to accelerate development in 2030. After hearing the resolution reports, I strongly agree with the results of local socio-economic development. Clearly, the spirit of delegates attending the meeting is very welcome. Monitoring activities in 2022 by the Standing and Specialized Committees of the Provincial People's Council also contributed to handling hot issues of concern to voters. During the year, Provincial People's Council held 12 monitoring sections and 3 explanation sections, including thematic supervision of Provincial People's Council on the construction and implementation of the medium-term public investment plan for the period of 2021 to 2025 in the province, thematic supervision of the Standing Committee of the Provincial People's Council on the clearance work of public investment projects in the province in the period of 2018 to 2021, explaining the state management work on the order of construction and separation land plots, the formation of residential areas and separate houses in urban and rural areas in the province, and the project of border residential areas and residential areas subsection to military posts in the border in the province. And through monitoring, there were 81 recommendations sent to the central government, Provincial People's Committee, and related departments analysis. Many hot issues in the province have been promoted to zones, creating clear changes in each locality, each industry, each field. After monitoring the reception of citizens, the settlement of petitions and voter reflections were also adjusted and implemented more thoroughly than before. Regarding the people's thought and voters' thought activities in 2022, the Standing Committee of Provincial People's Council coordinated with the Standing Committee of the Vietnam Finland Front Committee of the province, the Standing Committee of the People's Council of District Towns and City to organize 4 meetings with voters and recorded 317 recommendations, in which the recommendations are mainly under jurisdiction of the province and are under the central authority. The content of recommendations mainly focus on reflecting on inadequacies and problems in the socio-economic situation, the policies and promulgated by the central government. The opinions and recommendations of voters are synthesized by the Standing Committee of Provincial People's Council and transferred to Provincial People's Committee. The competent agencies answer and set according to their competence, and at the same time direct the Committee of the People's Council and the delegation and delegates of Provincial People's Council members regularly monitor and supervise the settlement of voters' petitions. Voter contact activities meet the people's aspirations. When people petition, the People's Council asks relevant authorities to respond satisfactorily without leaving a long backlog. Through monitoring the settlement of the voter petitions up to now, most of the voter opinions and recommendations have been answered and resolved by the Provincial People's Committee and specialized branches. The content of the answer and the settlement basically meets the legitimate requirements and aspirations of the voters. And with the results achieved in 2022, voters in the province believe that the Provincial People's Council will continue to have many positive and successful activities to meet the voter aspirations in the new year of 2023. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all for the TTV News today. Thank you for joining with us and see you next time.